It's Friday, 5 p.m., almost 5 p.m. Hello everyone, that was 2 days without a vlog from my side. Kind of an experiment, how it feels after several days of vlogging without any longer break. And now 2 days without. Let's see. I'm not sure what is the definition of what it means to be rich, but for me, when I was a kid, I wasn't a poor kid, the definition of being rich was if I enter a bookstore, I can buy any book I like. Not all of them, just choose whichever I like and not care if they are really expensive or not, just buy them. Now, a visit to a bookstore is almost like a celebration for me. So this is what I bought today, books and one magazine which sounded interesting. The title of this book is, it means Father. It's a collection of essays written by Polish writers. All about, well, they all touch a certain topic of this difficult relation between a father and a son. Given that I'm a father of 2 sons, this should be a good investment of my time. The next book is called The Secrets of Storytellers by the author of Speak as a TED Speaker, I think. I usually buy all the books about public speaking I can find in the bookstores. There are so many public speaking techniques, each of them specific for the flow that you like and you choose for specific talk. And I want to be a better public speaker. I want to speak more publicly. I want to speak at bigger conferences, and I want to be good at it. I want people to be enjoyed, to be inspired, to be educated by my talks. So I spent a lot of time preparing and learning what others do. So this kind of books I buy without much thinking, because I know that even reviewing some of the chapters here will teach me a lot. I like reading biographies. This is a biography of Stanisław Lem, so a famous Polish science fiction writer. I've heard good things about this book, and given that I am inspired by Stanisław Lem, and I consider myself a little bit of a futurist, and I want to be a better futurist, so I want to learn more about his life. And also the author here, I know this author from his political activity. And he's definitely not from my world, I would say. But that's also what I enjoy doing. I like reading and learning, and also getting inspired by other values and other perspectives that I have. Hopefully this will enhance my perspective too. And this seems to be like a science fiction or fantasy magazine, a new one. I don't know, I wasn't aware of that before. So a collection of stories, fantasy or science fiction. I do buy those for 2 reasons. I will probably not read all of the stories from here, but there was when I reviewed this in the bookstore, I noticed that there is an interview with a guy who specializes in game books or textbooks, or I think it's called also paragraph games. That was a trend popular in Poland. So I wanted to read this interview and to learn a little bit. But if I also find a story here, that's good. But also I buy this kind of magazines because I know they really can't make a lot of money, and I still enjoy paper. So if someone takes the risk of being a publisher of such magazine, I want to support them by buying this stuff. Just so that they exist, just so that from time to time I will be able to buy it and read it. So good luck, good people of this magazine. Now, am I going to read all of those books? Probably not. And that's a thing that I learned to accept. I know many people buy books, never read them, and then they feel kind of guilty inside. I don't feel guilty inside. I do collect books. I think one of the things you can do with books is you can collect them. I love having them in my house, very close to me. I love to have this option of reading them when I have the right moment. So, for example, even if I don't read this Lamb biography today or in the next week, maybe I will be ready to read it in 1 year from now. And this is what I often do. I have this collection of books, and suddenly I have this inspiration, because I usually review those books, like just scan them, what's inside, what kind of language they're written in, what kind of density it is, how deep it is. And then suddenly I have this moment like, I will read this book. I think it's the right moment of my life, right moment of the day. I'm gonna read this book now. And that's a really great choice for me to have. That's why I collect the books. So I'm definitely not a minimalist person in this case, because I buy a lot of paper books. I also read on Kindle, actually using the iPad Pro. And I have this like trends. Sometimes there were years where I bought a lot of paper. There were years where I focused on ebooks. But now it's more on paper recently. And I'm enjoying having lots of those books. And sometimes I just read one chapter, and if it inspires me and teaches me a lot, then I think it's already worth buying it and worth having it in my collection. The last reason here, I'm a book author too, mostly programming books, so not real books, but I'm a book author. I wrote 2 books almost exclusively on my own. One book was shared with one colleague, but I have helped with some other books, and I have published. I'm a publisher in a way, because my company, which I own, is we're publishing our own books, but most of them now are not written by me. So it's my role to be a publisher, whatever it means, and I had to learn what it means to be a publisher. I'm still bad at it, but I learned to respect authors, writers more now, and I learned to respect publishers more, the risk they have to take to publish a book. I have a lot of respect for them, because they often lose the money. So that's kind of influences me in buying. I want to support those people more. Thanks for watching my videos.